Hello, this is my second YouTube video, and today we will go over few questions that are asked in Big Tech SQL interview rounds. I will be using this bigtechinterviews.com as reference, and then we'll go about solving three different questions. First one will be easy, second will be medium, and third one will be hard. I will also provide these three links in the description box below. Please check while you're watching the video. So let's get started. So the first question here is two different products. So we have a schema or table called products, and it has 5 different column names. And the question is to write a query that returns the name of brands that have at least 2 different products and its average price is greater than $3. So this is our first question. Looks like simple question. So each brand can have multiple products within that brand. So the ask here is to find those brands that have at least 2 different products and the average price is greater than $3. So whenever we come across these kind of questions, the first thing that should come to your mind is grouping by or group by function. So here we'll do a simple group by. And the column that needs to be grouped by is the brand name, because we are trying to find the brand that has at least 2 different products and average price greater than certain amount, right? So we will be grouping by the brand name. And then we can have a filter condition after grouping by saying that count of distinct product ID should be at least 2, and the average price should be greater than $3. So this one is straightforward. We just have one table and we have to group by brand in order to get those brands that have products, more than 2 different products or at least 2 different products, and the average price is greater than 3. Here we can just, instead of calling all the columns, we can just include brand name. Let's see if there is output. Looks like this side didn't provide the output, but hopefully this made sense to you. Let's move on to second question. Here, the question is about total salary for each department in each building. All right. So we have 2 different tables. One is employee table. Employee table has employee details like employee ID, first name, last name, manager ID, salary, department, and building ID. All right. And then we also have a different table called building ID and building name. Okay. So here we are asked to get salary for each department, total salary for each department in each building. Again, if you think about it, the first thing that should come to your mind is grouping by, and we'll have to group by 2 columns. One is the building ID and the other one is the department, because we are looking for total salary for each department in each building. So group by condition should have 2 columns. One is department and one is building ID. And then we can calculate the aggregate like total salary for that group by condition. Here, in order to get the building name, we also need to do inner join in order to get the name for a particular building ID. So let's see if we have output here. Yep, sure. So we do have output here. So if you look at the output, department DS in SS building has 32,000 total salary, and the same department in a different building has 31,700 as total salary. So the first step is to join the table, join 2 tables in order to get the building name. So we will join the employee table. Let's call it E. And here we can go within a join, building D on building ID. This is actually BLD JID. So what all do we want to get out of this join is that we want to get the billing name, which is from the second table. And then we want to get the department name, which is from the first table. And then we want to get the sum of salary, total salary, in order to get the total salary. So basically we can do group by the first two columns, building name and department ID, and call the sum function. So this would give the output that we intend to get. Basically, the output will have department, building name, department, and total salary. Hope that's clear. The idea is to whenever you see like the question that needs some kind of aggregation, the first thing that needs to come to your mind is grouping by function. Hope this is helpful. And let's move to the next question. So this is hard. We want to find employees who started before their manager. Okay. We have two tables, again similar to the same as the previous one of the previous questions. The second one, same two tables. We have employee table and building table. Here, employee table again has same columns: employee ID, first name, last name, manager ID. The columns that are of interest for us is manager ID, and then their start date. Here, building ID is not of importance because we don't need any information from this table, so we can just skip it. And here, the idea is to get the details of employees who started before their manager, right? So how we can think about going to solve this problem is that we want to have employee ID, and then we want to have their start date, something like this. And then we want to have their manager ID. And then we want to have their manager's start date as well. So we should work towards getting a table with these four columns, and then we can do a simple condition where we'll check employee start date is greater than manager start date. All right. So in order to get that, we would use a condition called self-join. Self-join is basically joining a table with itself. So you'll see how this will be, this is helpful in order to get the above four columns. So what we'll do is we'll select from, we'll do join on employee with itself, even inner join E2 on. So basically here what we are trying to do is, even every manager is also an employee, right? So we are trying to get the manager start dates. This will be E2. And then E1 will be the employee. We'll also pull in the first name and last name. Right? And then E1 dot manager ID. In order to get the name of that manager, we would get it from E2 table, which will be first name as manager, first name, left, just add it here. And And then we can get the last name, manager's last name from the second table. And then start date of the manager will be again from the second table. Started. So this would give the information that we are looking for. I'll let's go with just employee IDs. I'll just remove this. Not that relevant here, so I'll just remove it here. All right. So we have all 4 columns that we are looking for. Employee ID. We'll also have to have employee start date, which I am missing here. Okay. Okay. So now we have all 4 columns: employee ID, their start date, and what's their manager ID, and then manager start date. Once we have this, then it will be simple filter condition. We'll have the logic in a subquery. Sub. And what we'll do is we'll say where start date is greater than manager's start date. And here we'll get the employee ID. I mean, we can even get the first name, last name. I've skipped it. But this is how you would get the employees who have started before their manager. The idea here is to join the table with itself in order to get the start date for manager, and then use that column to filter out the records where start date of a particular employee is greater than their manager's start date. Hope this is helpful. I will try to make more videos of using this Big Tech Interviews portal, and I'll see you in next video. Hope you have liked it. Thanks for watching. Bye.